A lot of people talk about putting out content, but social media and putting out content intentionally changed my whole life, and it opened up so many new doors. So I was in mortgage business 15 years and stuck at mid six figures. I think it was like 2019, just over 5 years ago. I was like, man, I'm not gonna spend another year doing the same shit. I just said to myself, I'm gonna do something different this year. And what it was for me was switching my efforts. And somebody was just talking about being more efficient with your time so you can spend more time with your family. This is the big shift that a lot of people need to make in terms of your marketing. Switching my efforts from one-to-one to one-to-many. You have to do the one-to-one. You have to shake hands, you have to get on the phone, you have to knock on the doors, for sure. Everything else in your business will work better when you have your personal branding content dialed in. I was stuck at this level. I started putting out shitty videos. I would love to show you guys an example of these. You know it's bad, by the way, when you can't even watch your own content. So you know when you get those memories on social and it pops up and you're like, dang, like I can't even get through this. How is somebody else watching this shit? So that was me. Even with that shitty content, by the way, I was getting opportunities and more referrals from people sending me deals. I wanted to work with investors to help them finance their properties, so I was just getting more flow. Then I wanted to work with agents who would send me opportunities and send me deal flow. So that was starting to grow. It really started to take off for me 2019, and that was my first 7-figure year. So just by doing content, even messing around, doing it incorrectly in 2018, I was able to go from 6 figures, break through that ceiling, and make 7 figures in 2019. And then it just kept growing exponentially during 2020, 2021. And a lot of people will say, well, Neel, bro, during those time period, you just made a bunch of money in real estate and mortgage because interest rates were low. And I was like, well, bro, then why didn't you make millions of dollars? I'm just curious. Like if all it took was good market conditions, why doesn't everybody make millions of dollars when market conditions are good? Why is it that somebody in this room is gonna make 100K and then 4 seats over, somebody's gonna make $1 million? That's 10 times difference. That's 1,000% difference. Why is that? And the difference is you guys both have the same hours in a day. You both probably have family. You both probably have the same obligations. You're probably relatively similar IQ. Can't speak for everybody here, but I'm pretty sure we're all smart people. We're in this group. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is they're probably using a more efficient strategy to reach more people and get more people into their funnel. And so if you're always focused on the very bottom of the funnel, which is who can I do a deal with this day, this week? What happens is you're on this treadmill or this hamster wheel and it never stops, right? So you'll go by a decade and you'll make money along the way, but you'll be in the same place. And so what I would love to share with you is like, hey, I wish I would have done this before because I started doing it when I was 38 years old. Now I'm 43. Like I wish I would have done it when I was in my 20s or early 30s, right? Because that would have set me up for bigger success. So obviously it's not too late, but I would tell you this, at some point it has to be more, there has to be something in your business that's more than just this month's numbers. Because if that's the case, you'll just run and eventually get burnt out. Anybody feel burnout from time to time? The fuck, if you guys didn't raise your hand, you're lying, What are you guys doing? I want to take what you're taking. But if you guys wake up pumped every day and you're never burnt out, like that's bullshit. I think like at some point everyone's feeling like, man, this is a tough market. It's not easy as it was. I would love the easy market from 4 years ago, but it's tougher these days to succeed. So what's that difference? What's that shift gonna be? What I found out, bro, is everyone tells you things are saturated. Nothing's saturated because most people suck at what they do. Everybody's like, yo, bro, like don't get into this, don't get into that. Content saturated, podcast saturated. This real estate strategy for getting clients is saturated. No, it's not, because most people don't do it correctly. And what I found is this year, I've been doing content for 5 years. I just started a podcast and it's blowing up this year. People told me podcasts were saturated, but no, it's not if you do it correctly and you actually go into it with intentional. So I know everybody tells you guys to be consistent with what you're doing, but I want you to flip that around. You need to be intentionally consistent. Like, it's not like I've seen people be like, dude, I've been doing the thing for 2 years, didn't get anything from content. Like, did you ever look back to see what worked? Did you ever see what could I make the tweaks? Success leaves clues. If you post 10 videos, 2 of them are gonna do better than the other ones. What's the difference with those 2? How do we do more of that? So I started doing this, right? And started getting better. Along the way, what happened was people from the industry started asking me, hey bro, can you teach like what you're doing? Because you were obviously having success. Can you come speak to our group? Can you teach? So I started doing events and speaking at small groups, and then leveled up from there. Last year, bro, I did this for years, by the way, and that's how I built my network, is just going to events. I would be an attendee for many years, and then I started to speak at the events. What's crazy is last year I was with my video guy, and we flew to Florida, and I was speaking at an event. And afterwards, we went there, we spoke, we did a Q&A afterwards, and then we left, okay? When we left, the guy, my video guy was with me, Paul was like, hey, bro, how much did they pay you for this? I was like, oh, they paid me $20K to come speak, right, to this group in Florida. And it's not that much money compared to how much we could make in our business. But he was like, bro, that's the easiest $20K you ever made. You were there for an hour. And I was like, no, it wasn't. Like, you weren't there for all the years where I did this for free. You weren't there like when I would pay someone to sponsor them and to actually speak so I could have the opportunity to get the reps in and build the brand and get the content out there, right? So what that tells you is that when you're doing this personal brand stuff, when you're doing content, when you're building yourself, you're doing all this shit for free, and you're like, man, when does this pay off? But if you do this correctly, someday you will be compensated. Someday you'll be heavily compensated for the thing that you used to do for free. I'll give you an example. There's a company that sells software that helps all the people in this room like convert more leads. It's just a marketing thing, right? I was already using that, and I would tell my followers about this. That company pays me $100,000 a year just to promote the product. I was already doing that shit for free, right? I made 250 grand last year from speaking. It's not much compared to how much I make in my businesses, but that was cool. Like, that was the thing I was going to do anyways for free, for fun, right? And so it starts to open up new opportunities. Along the way, I've connected with people that have led me to even bigger business opportunities and connections. Like, it's the developer you meet at an event, or you speak somewhere, and because you're speaking and you have a brand on social, they want to talk to you. And they connect you with this opportunity to run this deal, or to sell out this development, or to work to collaborate. And now all of a sudden, instead of getting your next deal, you're now getting 100 deals, right? And so it just opens your mind to like bigger opportunities. Does this make sense for you guys? And so what I want you to think is, like, some of you are already doing this, but the few of you who aren't, and those of you who are doing it, I want you to take it more seriously this year. But if you start thinking bigger, and not with your entire day, you still need to do the day-to-day stuff to close the deals and make the sales. But on the other end, what's the strategy that is long-term? How do you serve, what's your name, sir? Yes. Nathaniel. How do you serve the Nathaniel of 2028? Right, you're taking care of Nathaniel 2025 right now here. Yeah. What are you doing for 2028, right? And most people aren't doing shit. So then 2028 comes around and it's just like 2025. Now, if 2025 is a good year and you're cool with that, that's fine. But for me, I want there to be more value to my work. You know, I put in a lot of work. My hair's all gray now. You know, like I've been through some stressful times in this industry. It's not easy. So I would like it if there was more than just a little bit of money. Like, I'd like it if there was some value to all this knowledge in here. It's not just about running, because at some point you're going to be tired of running. You just get burnt out, right? So I hope you're enjoying this video, and I want to continue to put out the absolute best content that's going to help you move your business and brand forward, but I need your help. So many of you guys are watching this channel, but you're not subscribed, and that's the number one thing that's going to help me grow. So if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Normally I'd have a fancy ad read and promote some product, but today all I want you to do is just subscribe to the channel. And now let's get back to the episode. Think about this. How could you be serving the future you, okay? Now, the way I do this is through content, okay? I got all these cool opportunities, but the system that I came across that works the best, and this will work whether you want just to get more brand recognition, whether you want to get more deal flow, whether you want to raise money. And you might be thinking, Neel, dude, I don't want to raise money right now. I'm just doing my business. I'm flipping deals, or we're doing wholesaling, or we're doing this. That's cool. The 3 years from now, you might want to raise money for something big. And that might be your $20 million opportunity in the future, right? So unless you start now, it's not like you can wait till 2028 and be like, yeah, I'd like to change my whole business, right? You need to be planting the seeds for the future you. So if that's you, this is the system that will work for you. So the system is content, connection, conversion. So 3 C's, content, connection, conversion. If you miss one of the 3 steps, you don't get the return. This has been like the formula that changed my life, honestly, right? So you have to put out better content. Well, what does that look like today, right? The content game has changed in 2025. It's different than it was a year or 2 ago. Any content creators that have been doing this a while, they'll tell you the same thing. What works today is different. It's actually easier for people with smaller audiences today. People with big followings and big audiences are pissed. The reason why is because, as you know, some of you know, maybe you don't know, the algorithm changed from the social graph to the interest graph. So what that means, every algorithm except for LinkedIn has changed. So that means when you go on Instagram, when you go on Facebook, when you go on TikTok, and TikTok's banned now pretty soon, but they'll probably bring it back. When you go on these platforms, even YouTube, the videos shown to you in the feed are not people you subscribe or follow. There's content that you might be interested in. So when you start scrolling Instagram, you'll notice like, you'll see some viral videos, you'll see some videos from some big creators and maybe some of the people you follow. Then all of a sudden you'll get a video from Nathaniel. And it might be like, it has 13 likes on it or 100 likes or something. You're like, well, I don't follow Nathaniel, what's the deal? Well, the algorithm thought you might be interested in this guy because of what he said. So it's just presenting your content. So this has been going on, but now it's shifted even more to where if you start scrolling, you'll notice a lot of people are getting an audition with you. So you need to be that person to put out more stuff. So what do you put out? What works? Well, the more produced content that we were doing for the last few years doesn't work as well. It needs to be more raw and authentic. How do you do that? There's a lot of stuff that I was posting in my story, kind of showing people behind the scenes, showing what I'm doing, maybe saying a quick story. Those videos some of those are now in the feed, just quick selfie style. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, we were at an event in Florida I spoke at. And I flew back last night, so I could be here today. We spoke at this event, we made a dope highlight video, like with my video guy, looks sick, 4K, all the cuts, all the effects, all that good stuff to promote how we served this group and how dope it was. It got like a few thousand views. When I got home, I'm so freaking dumb, I left my laptop, the MacBook Pro, in the seat back pocket of the plane, okay? And I left. Then I got to my Uber, I was like, oh shit, I don't have my computer. It's on the plane, so I run back in. They're like, bro, you can't go back, it's gone. Fill out this form and then we'll try and find it. So as I'm walking back to my Uber, I'm like, first of all, I'm an idiot, but I'm like filming a video selfie style, right? And I'm like, hey, I just left my laptop on the phone, on the airplane, and has anybody ever done this? And like, did you get it back? I feel like an idiot, but like, let me know. That video that I posted at 9 o'clock last night, I think got like 15,000 views, and it's not produced. There was no fancy edit. There's no caption. There's no like, we didn't give it to the team to push it out later. It's just like raw in the moment, post it. That content is doing better now than the produced content. Does this make sense? Also, it doesn't have to be where it used to be like you need to post 90% of your content about your thing, your niche. That's cool. But now each video is being judged independently. So if you make a video that people would want to watch, people watch it. Now someone's gonna be like, Neel, that's all good, but why does it matter that you lost your laptop? Well, you just asked me. She's like, hey, Neel, did you find your laptop when I walked in here? I'm like, how'd you know? Oh shit, I remember I posted last night, right? So what's crazy is we might do business together because I lost my laptop, right? That's the weird thing. Someone's gonna remember you. I have this dumb thing I do in my Instagram where my doctor a few years ago told me that you need to stop eating so much sugar. Like I'm addicted to sugar. I have ADD and I don't know why, like I just like treats. So donuts, fuck, they're like like if you put donuts in front of me, it'll mess me up. It's like my crack. So I call this contraband. So every week, if there's contraband around, I'll post it and I'll be like, yo, this is contraband. Like I gotta stay away from this. Who did this? Who brought the donuts to the office, right? The dumbest thing, you would think nobody's interested in this shit. People come to the events and they come to the office to meet with me and they bring me donuts and they're like, bro, I brought you some contraband, right? They're doing business with me because of donuts. It's the dumbest thing you've ever thought. But you know why? Because I can't compete with Gary Vee and Alex Hormozi on entrepreneurship advice. I'm just Neel. I have great advice, but they can get that advice from all the people. So when you post motivational content, you post all these advice videos, they can get that from these thought leaders. You're not necessarily there. But what do you have that they don't have? You have your personality, the way you deliver content, the way you connect with the audience. So this is a big piece of your content strategy. And most people, including some of my friends in the content game, won't do this because they're too self-conscious or they're too nervous about putting themselves out there. They'll be buff dudes on freaking TRT and they're ripped. And I'm like, hey, post that video that you just talked about. That's a great piece of content. Like, no, I don't want to post that. I look dumb. I'm like, okay. Like, your fear of being embarrassed is the reason why you won't get the opportunity that I'll get. Like I was with Jesse Itzer, he's a billionaire, and he told me this. He's like, the fear of being embarrassed. When I got over that, that's what opened all these doors for me. I just said, F it, I'm gonna do it. So content falls into a couple different buckets: education, entertainment, inspiration. So I like putting out educational content because it does show your expertise. You need to do this in two different buckets. Okay, one is if you want to reach a lot of people and get followers. The other bucket is if you just want to go narrow and get some deals, okay, or get some clients or referrals, whatever it is you're looking to do. A lot of people judge views for their content the same. But if you make a bottom of the funnel video, which is like, I'm raising money for this deal, or send me a deal, or here's a property in the property if you're interested in purchasing this, like those are bottom of the funnel, those are gonna get less views. So don't judge those as a failure, because the viewers of those are higher value to you. But then on the top of the funnel content, that's just videos to get people to follow you. Think about this, like everybody has a tent, we're all in a field, right? And some videos are just meant to get some people in your tent. So you imagine like people on social media just walking past the field, and then they see somebody's tent and they're like, oh, here's a tent, and there's like 2 dudes in there and there's no music and it looks weird. You're like, I don't want to go in that one. Then you walk by and then mine's going and there's some music and there's a bunch of people having fun and smiling. You're like, okay, I might go in there. Now, most of the people in your tent will never do business with you, they'll never do anything, but there's value to just having people in there. So some people, it's just about getting them to follow you, getting them in your funnel, and they'll never do anything with you. That's cool. So top of the funnel content, the way you do this is you need to make more observations and do less expertise. So for example, if I were to make a consumer finance video and I was like, this is the best credit card you need to have, and here's why. They're like, well, who's this guy? Who's he to tell me that? Is what they're thinking, even if they don't say this. Versus if I said, with the same video, I start the video and I said, this is the #1 credit card and 83% of people under the age of 30 are using this. They're like, oh, well, 83% of people are using this. I want to know what that is. So that's just my observation. They don't have to judge. Am I the expert? Should I listen to this person? It takes away that whole question from people's subconscious. So then they watch those videos. So what I found is if you make observation content, it will reach more people and you'll get more followers. When you make expert content, it will get you more business, but you won't get the views. Does that make sense for you? Is this helping you guys, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good. So these are the 2 types of content. You need to put those in 2 buckets. So on a period of time when I'm like, you know what? I need more followers. I need to grow my account. I don't have enough followers. I want more social proof. Okay, well, let's go hard on observation content. Like, check this out. Look at this property. Look at one of the worst flips I've seen. Or look at this deal. Look at this place. Or something went wrong. Something went great. People just want to watch it for entertainment value. So that's what you need to do on the buckets. Now, this will help when you do conversions, okay? So, and I'll get into conversions last. So that's content. We're gonna get better content. We're gonna be more raw, authentic. You do need to reach a minimum level of quality. So even when I'm doing a selfie video, I am wiping the lens, okay? Some of you guys and gals, like when you post your videos, I'm like, bro, it looks like an iPhone 2 because you have chapstick across the lens. So that's because it's on your face, your hair, you know, all that shit. So just wipe it off. It goes from an iPhone 2 to iPhone 15. Even people like, hey, let's take a selfie. You don't notice it. Wipe it off first. So just be militant about that, because people treat you better when your content looks better. Okay, it'd be like if I rolled in here with the wife beater on and I smelled. Like, I'm still knowledgeable and I should be listened to, but some of you guys would be like, who is this guy? I'm not listening, right? You would treat me different, right? So make sure that at least it meets a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, 6 to 7 is your sweet spot. You don't want to go 10 because then it looks too produced and people don't watch it. They think it's commercial. But 6 to 7 is the sweet spot right now. Okay, so you can do some on the phone. We're doing now over half the content on the phone, and it's reaching more people than when we do it in the studio. Now, we still have a studio with the expensive cameras and the lights, and we do a podcast. That stuff works too. So just mix it up. Okay. Now, this is on the content side. Now, for connection, I talked about this a little bit earlier. You need to do things that are not business. If it's all numbers and all business, you're missing out on the biggest opportunity for personal branding. So people connect with you based on your interests. So somebody in here, who's a big fan of a particular sports team in here? Go ahead, sir. Lakers. So this dude, what's your name, sir? JC might be the biggest Lakers fan in this room. If he would just tell people that on social, he'll get more business. He'll get more opportunities. Because there's the algorithm, like literally him wearing something from Kobe or a jersey or a hat in the video, automatically the algorithm is so dialed, it will show it to people who have the same interest. So a lot of you guys are suppressing the thing that would literally connect you with the most money, which is the things that you're into. We had a dude outside at the event in Florida. He's like, I'm a degenerate gambler. I'm like, probably don't put that one out there, but whatever else you're into, like you should be sharing more about this. And probably the gambling one might blow him up too. I don't know. But when I think about what to share from my personal life, I put it in these 5 F's: food, faith, family, fitness. And then the last one, which the women made me add at the last event, was fashion. So food, faith, family, fitness, fashion. So, and you could replace one of those with whatever you're into. But you notice what Ryan does a lot of, he shares his faith. Do you know how many opportunities come to him because he's open about his faith? And he has the courage to say this, regardless of the fact that some people might unfollow him. Some people might leave him a nasty comment. He doesn't care, he puts it out there. Because of that, people connect with him and the more luck flows his way. So the more things that you share from a personal standpoint on social media, the more luck comes your way, because it's just another opportunity for someone to connect with you. So this is contraband, this is the Lakers, this is whatever you're into. If somebody's into hiking, they make one of the videos every week on the hike. More people connect with them because it shows to other people who have outdoors interests. This is the game, is doing this stuff, incorporating it. Your content doesn't need to look like everybody else's, it needs to look like yours. And the only way it's gonna look like yours is if you put yourself in it. So this is the game, and you'll get more comfortable sharing personal things as you go. On the family side, I'm really open. I share a lot of stuff about family, but some people are like, I don't want to put my kids out there. That's cool. Share as much as you're comfortable with. I will tell you this, I talk a lot about my family, and I'm glad this came up earlier. Like somebody was talking about, hey, you need to have more balance with work life. How many of you struggle with like the number of hours you work and then trying to keep a happy marriage? Anybody? Everybody else is single, or you guys just have a perfect marriage? Yeah, some of you guys are just crushing it. Okay, good. Well, for everybody else who has that beef every once in a while, I'll tell you this, you need to put your spouse first. You know what I mean? And I know people know about this, but I was doing this business for a long time. It's very demanding on the time, especially entrepreneur, your brain's always flowing. At some point along the way, I think this was like now 3-4 years ago, my wife's like, hey, Neel, we're learning to live without you. And I was like, shit, that was a wake-up call for me. Like, hey, if you're doing all this for your family, but then if you lose your family in the process, what good is that? You know what I mean? So what you need to do is dial that in first. What happens there is you'll be a beast in business. I know when things are off at home, and if some of you can relate to this, you're kind of handicapped in business. You know what I mean? Like you get some nasty text, or you get into a little argument with the spouse, like all of a sudden now you're not as effective that day. It actually costs you money to be in dispute with your family. Or when you have a problem with the kids, like you're not focused, right? You're trying to, put all this. So all that to say is take care of that shit first. You'll be a beast in business. Nobody will mess with you. So make sure you guys are prioritizing that and share that on social. If you want to be vulnerable, like share that. You'll get a lot of people to reach out to you because of that. So on the connection side, I share a lot of things I'm doing personally. I'll give you an example. Did anybody go to the Super Bowl this year in Vegas? Nobody? Has anybody been to a Super Bowl? No.
Too busy with their own lives.
What's that? Too busy, yeah. You guys are doing too many deals, man. So you're like, what does the Super Bowl have to do with real estate deals? Well, I'll tell you. So I go to this year, it's in Vegas. I've always wanted to go for my whole life, but I never got a chance to go. So one of my buddies, Billy Jean, he's my business coach for marketing for a long time. He's like, Neel, should we go to the Super Bowl this year? Should we do it? I'm like, yeah, let's look at the tickets. Well, you look at the tickets, they're like $15K. For decent tickets. You could get nosebleeds for like $6,000, but who cares? Like if you're watching it from the rafters, So we were looking, and there was like $50K, $40K, $30, $15, they're all over the place. But right before the game, they came down a bit. So we ended up getting seats right on the first row, I think like 50-yard line on the Chiefs side, okay? I don't care which team wins. I didn't have a dog in the fight, but I did make a large bet on the Chiefs. So I was like, that's who I'm rooting for. So we're sitting there, and we go to the stadium early because hey, what do you do in Vegas and the game starts at like 2 or 3 o'clock? People are just getting hammered all day. This is crazy. They should start it earlier, but they start in the afternoon for whatever reason. So during the day, people are just getting hammered. They're going there. We go there, we start filming a bunch of videos in the stadium that I could use in the future. So like if I'm promoting a webinar, or if I'm promoting something I'm gonna be doing in a class or something in the future, or something to get opportunities, I'm leaving the date off of it, but I'm shooting those while I'm in the stadium just to be able to repurpose and use them. But this was interesting. While I'm there, I'm walking in the stadium, and my buddy right behind me just films me walking in. I'm like, that would be something normally you'd post in your story. I'm like, I'm just gonna post it in the feed because this is Super Bowl, cool. So I post in the feed. The first comment is from this guy, Sharon is his name. It says, hey bro, I'm right here, look up. I'm like, what? And then there's like 100 more comments. That was the first comment. And I look up and he's in the box in the same section I'm in. And he's like, bro, I'm right here, come up. And I came up. And so if you didn't know this guy, he is the CEO of the largest, fastest growing publicly traded real estate company. It's called Real Broker. And they have 25,000 agents in the country. And so he's there and he's like, bro, come up here. I love your videos, I've been watching them. Let's connect afterwards. And then I go back in my seat and do all that stuff. But like on my feed, if you look at that week, right next to a video where, I posted about, you shouldn't put 20% down when you buy your first property. There's a video of me at the Super Bowl, and then there's another video of the last play of the game. And these videos kind of went semi-viral because it was about the Super Bowl. So anyways, long story short, afterwards I get to talk to Sharon and we started collaborating, okay? From there, it turned into, I ended up speaking, he had me come speak to his entire brokerage this year at the Virgin. They had their annual event. I got to speak to like 3,000 plus agents, their top people. We did a podcast, it's on my YouTube right now. It's my #1 video on YouTube. And there's just so many cool opportunities. He spoke at my event, connected me with this other investment opportunity that's gonna net me 6 figures. So what happened is that $15,000 investment of that seat ended up having an ROI that's gonna be 7 figures for me. Even without that, it would have been 6 figures based on just the work I did while I was there and promoting it. There are people at the game who maybe posted a couple things, maybe didn't even post anything, all the videos are still on their phone because they don't want to show off on social media or they didn't want to do that. Anybody feel like bad sharing success on social media? You feel like weird about flexing, right? The reason why some of you guys feel bad about showing your success is because you didn't show the work. If you show more of the work, you won't have any problem showing success. So if you show the late night in the office doing the freaking work, when you're on vacation with your family in Mexico and you share a video, you'll be happy to share it. And then the comments are like, bro, take the time, enjoy it with your family. They're like connecting, they're like encouraging you. They're happy for you. The comments on the Super Bowl post, you guys can go on my feed. It's all these people in my network saying, you enjoy the game, that's so awesome. Congrats on being there. Nobody's hater. I think there's one hater and the dude probably lives in his mom's basement. It's like, it's a troll that doesn't even have a photo. And he's like, hey, you put out financial advice, it's irresponsible of you to spend money on the Super Bowl. I'm like, okay, let me show you this ROI, bro. That was a great investment for me. I don't know about you. People just don't get it. But if you share more of the work, you'll get more of that stuff. So just think about this, how you could share more personal things. Now, you might be thinking, well, bro, that's crazy. That's the Super Bowl. I don't go to the Super Bowl. Well, you could do the same thing. I do the same thing when I go to a game. While we're here today, I'm doing this. Anywhere I go to a local thing, I'm sharing a little bit about what I'm doing. It just needs to be relatable. It doesn't have to be remarkable. There's magic in just the day-to-day stuff. A lot of you guys think it needs to be this perfect thing, big thing to be able to post. It doesn't need to be. If you're the type of person that's like, bro, I'm gonna get over that shit. I'm just gonna put out something that I did every day, a thought that I had in my head. You become the person that more people connect with and you'll get more opportunities. So these things are just a part of the process of putting out the content. Now, the last piece, which is conversion, is whenever it is you want to do something, and this has been a game changer. If you get this part, you've done the content, you're doing connection pieces more, you get to the conversion piece. It will crush for you if you do this correctly. The best marketers on social media are not trying to get sales, guys. They're getting signal, okay? Just the signal that you might be interested in something. So let's just say that I'm raising money for a fund, okay? I would talk about the opportunity, success. I would talk about these deals that we're investing in, whatever we're doing. And I would say, actually have an opportunity for you guys. If you want to, like some people might say, if you want to invest in the fund or you want to put, schedule a call, hit the link in my bio or see the link below. And we can meet with my team and get the process started. People aren't ready for that just yet. Now there's a small group of people which are, but the majority of people that watch your stuff on social that will follow you, they're silent. They don't say shit. You'll run into them outside. They're like, dude, I love your videos. I'm like, I never seen you once. You never even hit the heart button. Could you show me some love? Like, they don't do anything. They're just silently watching your content. Anybody notice this? They'll be like, dude, I love your content, right? Now, what you need to do is you need to prompt those people. Those are the type of people, and they're the majority, and this was me years ago. You would type out a comment, you'd erase it because you didn't want to look stupid. That's most people. So those people will never reach out to you unless you prompt them. The way you prompt them is not with book a call. The number one thing that people promote in our industry on social media is calls, and it's the number one thing people don't want. They don't want to get on a call. They don't want to talk to you. They're literally, doom scrolling. They're just sitting at home. Like, think about your state of mind as you're scrolling. You're not in peak intelligence mode, ready to like opt in. You know what I mean? It's a different intention on social. It might be different on YouTube, but on Instagram, and especially TikTok, people are just scrolling for entertainment. Just, they like learning, but they just don't want to work for it. So the whole point of this, if you take nothing else away from the conversion piece, is do not sell work, sell ease, okay? Something simple. So something simple for this would be like, I have a free guide, I have a checklist, I have a one-page doc on what this deal looks like and how much the returns are and what the qualifications are. If you want to grab that one pager, just comment the word home and I'll shoot it over to you, right? It's something simple. The ones that work the best for me are checklist, cheat sheet, or guide. Those are the lead magnets that work the best. So you got a client, a potential client, a lead here. Whatever you want is here. You want their money, you want them to invest, you want them to buy a property, whatever it is that you want is here. Instead of asking for this thing, you need to back up the truck and ask for something in the middle, something simple. In this case, you're just giving them something. So it's actually not even asking. You're like, hey, I have this resource if you want it. Another great way, this changed the game for me, is that step in the middle, I made webinars. So next week, I have a webinar. I actually have Gary Vee joining me on this webinar if you guys want to join it. It's going to be next week. And I'm going to be going over content and the way the game has changed for 2025. We're going to get into specific tactics. So I started promoting this thing. Now, what do I really want? I want people to work with me. I want people to hire me. I want people to pay me. But I'm not selling that. I'm selling a free webinar with me and Gary. Come to this thing. So you just need to back it up to something that would be valuable. And in that case, I'm not even selling it. It's more of a give at this point. I'm giving you free information. I'm giving you this resource. So now people are going to show up, and then a certain segment of those people will now buy my stuff, right? Or they'll work with me. Along the way, I didn't even tell you guys this in the beginning. So I was doing mortgage and real estate and making really good money and doing great, and I still do. Make 7 figures every year from that business. But along the way, I started this side hustle, which was speaking and educating and coaching. That business that I just started on the side for fun never ran a single ad. That business just crossed $10 million in sales. And I did it for fun on the side, okay? The biggest wins for you in the future are things that you don't even know exist today. There's something that's going to happen because of luck, serendipity. You're gonna run into this dude at this thing. 3 years from now, it's gonna be the biggest opportunity you've ever had. In order to have that luck, you have to do things in advance, plant the seeds. Does this make sense? Like, I was not thinking that I would ever in my wildest dreams be speaking, doing education, and have a coaching business that has thousands of members and we have a mastermind, all these cool things. That was just fun for me. And now, again, what I would do for free, people will pay me millions of dollars for. That's crazy, right? And that's the reason why it probably grows, because I don't really need it, right? It's not like I'm selling it hard. I'm like, hey, if you want to join our thing, great. If not, no worries. That's not my main source of business. But it just ended up growing. So now we're actually going to scale that business with ads and all this stuff, right? Prior to this point, it's just been organic from Instagram. But the way I grew that business was using this formula, getting people onto something in the middle, a guide, a checklist, a cheat sheet, or a webinar. That's your step. Most people don't have this step, they'll never get the conversion. They'll only get people that are this tiny, tiny piece, which is the bottom of the funnel, that are ready to transact today. That's when you guys are making the calls. That's all the work you're doing at the bottom of the funnel. That's what pays the bills today. But what gets you actually wealthy is all the people who are 1 or 2 or 3 questions away from working with you. You'd be shocked how many people are just a few questions away from working with you, but you never ask them. You're just like, hey, let me know if you want to buy right now. Like, I met my wife at an event in Vegas. We both work in the mortgage industry. She's like at the bar, and I remember meeting at the same time. I was like, I gotta go talk to this girl. And I go walk up to her. Imagine if I just walked up at the company event. I was like, hey, you wanna go upstairs? Like, what? Well, I probably wouldn't have family. Maybe, bro, maybe you could pull that off. I can't pull that shit off, right? So where's the conversation, bro? Like, can you have some romance with coffee, a freaking cocktail, something? Most people have none of that shit. It's just like straight to the close. So what step can you offer as a resource in the middle? You need to do this. If you do this, you take the time to do this, you'll be freaking rich. We'll talk a year from now, you're like, bro, that changed my whole business. Adding one step. And I know it sounds simple. This is like marketing 101, but I'm shocked people won't do it. Simple scales, fancy fails. So anyways, really quick. The thing that you're offering, this is important, needs to be simple, easy, not work. You can do the work later. We gotta jump on a call, we gotta do something else later. First step needs to be easy. The thing you're offering needs to be clear, and then how to get it needs to be clear. So for me, I'll say, hey, I have this thing. If it does this XYZ for you, if you want this thing, comment this word. Now, Ryan will tell you this too. I actually learned this from Ryan years ago when he was my coach. He's like, bro, make sure the word is easy to spell. People are that dumb on social media. Now, they're not dumb, meaning, well, I guess some people are literally dumb, but he's saying they're in a dumb state of mind. Don't sell work. So we have a guy in our group who's in the mortgage business. He says, comment the word pre-approved. He gets ghosted every time. People can't type that shit. It's too long. Type the word home and I'll send you the thing. Type the word invest, grow. Think about like 4 or 5 letters and easy to spell. Any confusion, your conversions, like the number of people who opt in goes way down. Not even just, you might even strike out because the word's too hard, which is crazy to me. So I have example after example. I just did a video last week where I offered a free guide to buying your first rental property with limited money down. I got 1,000 opt-ins for free from Instagram. It's all in the comments publicly. People commented the word home. They got the free thing. Now they're in my funnel. They get my emails. And then a certain percentage of those people will do business with me. This is all working for me. While I'm here talking to you, somebody's watching a video, getting a free guide, and then learning about working with me. And this just works 24/7. The best business models for everybody here, including me, are the ones that grow while you're sleeping. You can't do all the work. You can't make all the calls. You need something working for you. That's your brand online, and that's your funnels on the back end. How many of you guys use email marketing here? A few of you guys? Email has been the best thing for me. It's made me the most money. That's a silent killer. People don't talk about it because it's not on social, it doesn't look sexy, but email is where it's at. Getting people off these algorithms. Do you know how the algorithm changes all the time? You need to get people opting into your email list. The way you get people opting in your email list is give them a free resource. So do that more often, and then now you get the conversions. The last thing here is following up, and make sure you have some sort of follow-up on autopilot. For me, it's emails. So anybody that opts in, they get 6 more emails from us. Each email has like, here's how to take the next step. Here's some information, here's how to take the next step. And that all has to happen automatically. If it's up to you to make the calls or do it, you won't do it. But if this is just working, you'll do it. And then from there, a small percentage of people actually take the next step, and then it works. So I got all these people that are, a few steps away from working with me. Now we're prompting them to work with us. This makes sense for you guys? Okay, so this is the game, content, connection, conversion. And if you do all this, you'll dominate. I'm gonna check my notes if there's one last thing I wanna share with you guys, if there's anything else. Does anybody have any questions on this stuff?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
As far as raw content, what's your opinion on as far as how much you're editing that raw content? Like you're putting text on top or
Yeah, great question.
Is that making a big difference? And also 2-part, the text that you're putting on the reel, like the actual post, like does what that goes on that text matter as much as what people are listening to in the raw content?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you need to post the video raw, but on the video, what is the how much edits do you need on it, even if it's a raw authentic video? So for me, I just use the captions in the app when it's one of those selfie style videos. Inside of Instagram or TikTok or whatever you're using, it'll give you the captions. If you want to use CapCut, it'll give you simple captions. They should not be super fancy or a bunch of colors, just simple. And then what happens is the video itself doesn't have any edits, it was just one take. Now there are videos I do where we shoot in the studio and we chop them up. Those ones have a little bit more like transition and stuff, but for these ones on the phone, no. One hack I'll give you that makes the videos look a lot better is on the phone, the back lens is so much better than the selfie lens. It's like, this is where all the money is on the new iPhones, right? Is these lenses on the back. So what I do is I wipe all this off, I put it on the wide angle, and I'll shoot the selfie video. Wipe the lens first, please, okay? And I'll shoot the selfie video like this. So do you guys see me in the video? Yeah. There's more around me happening. We're walking and talking. You can't see yourself because but just look at the lens and it looks great. So I'll walk and talk to the back lens. Oh, I flipped around, sorry. Is that right? Yeah. So I'll be walking and talking, and then the thing about this is when you're talking to this back lens, you don't need to hold it as far away. You know how when you do selfies, sometimes you're like this? Because it's on the wide angle, the 0.5. By the way, this works for the iPhone users. If you're Android, I don't know if it will work, but you can upgrade.
Just give up now.
Yeah, just give up now. The green, the blue bubble works better anyways when you're connecting with people. So anyways, just talk to the back camera, walk and talk. That's going to work for you. And you'll get more views this way. It's more interactive. There doesn't need to be good light when you do it this way, but don't hold it so far away. Just hold it like more close to your face. And if you're within arm's length, you don't even need a mic. And then if I'm more than arm's length away, like I am with this camera, then I just put this wireless mic on me. This is the Hollyland wireless mic. I think it's $100. Works perfect. You can just magnet on yourself. Comes with two, so if you want to interview other people, you can do it. You can also, just as a quick side note, I tape this to different props and interview people. So like I did an interview to ask other people how they're successful because I want to get more followers. That's observation content. I'm not saying I'm the expert, I'm saying you're the expert. So hey, you've closed this many deals, how did you do it? Or hey, I noticed you did this thing crazy, how can you explain how you did that? Like people want to learn because I'm not saying I'm the expert. I taped it to a top, we had no props, so we taped it to the top of a tequila bottle in the hotel we were at. And it got more views because I'm holding it, so this is just something passive you can do. And if you ever want to use props in the video, when you're holding something that's not traditional, people watch it. You ever see people hold these little tiny mics and they do like ASMR videos? That's a visual hook. People watch the video because it catches people off guard a little bit. It's not typical. So do all this stuff and you'll get more views. If you guys want to chat more, I'll be here, out here. I don't know are we going to break after this? No. You're going to the next speaker. Okay. Well, I'll be around if you guys want to reach out. If you want to DM me on Instagram, happy to help anytime. You don't have to DM me a certain word, just shoot me a message. I'll reply to you guys. And then last thing I'll tell you is I'm sure you've learned a lot of things. How long has this been going?
Day and a half.
Day and a half. You probably learned a lot of things online, plus in the community. Ryan's been teaching you stuff. All the expert network that he brings in has been helping you guys. Think about this. Sometimes you get a little overwhelmed. A lot of information coming at you. Ever feel like that? Like your to-do list keeps growing and you're like, now you start to feel a little anxious. So what you need to do is narrow your focus this year. And I think we should all do this for 2025, narrow your focus. You guys ever read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear?
Yes.
Okay, so he talks about this in some of his content online and in the book. When a plane is traveling from Europe to US, if you change the nose of the plane by like just a hair, ends up in a totally different place, completely different destination. So when you think about all the stuff you've been learning, bro, what if you just did one or two of the things and you did them every week? So you're like, hey, Neel, that weird guy with the glasses, nerdy guy, I'm gonna try the thing he said. I'm gonna do it once a week on Wednesday, 52 weeks. Next year, 52 weeks from now, you'll be in a completely different place. So do not try and do all the stuff. You'll fail, okay? Pick your lane and just be consistent. Do it once or twice a week, something sustainable. Next year, you'll be in a completely different place. I'm really excited to see where you guys will end up. A few of you guys probably hear this message and you're gonna do something different this year. I'm pumped to see where you end up. Thanks, man.